Hey Magic fans, welcome back. I promised and I delivered. I went out on the web, the dark web, and found more people showing the cards off that they opened for Modern Horizons 3 and where they posted them. Now, I don't know where these came from because I emailed them to myself, and I do not own any of these cards. However, the internet has been kind enough to grace me with their image. So, with that said, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. Details down below on ways to support the channel as well in the description. Try to get to 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, we will be more than happy to have some giveaways. It's going to be a good time for everybody involved. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oops, sorry. Anyway, moving on. Let's take a look at some of these sweet cards that sneaked out of Wizards. So, we have this here. We have Glimpse the Impossible. I think we might have seen this one already. Red 2, exile 3 cards in your library. You may play those cards this turn. It is a sorcery. Beginning of your next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, put them into your graveyard. Create Eldrazi's that tap for mana. It's a good way to ramp in red, so not bad. Evolution Witness, unlike Eternal. Green and 2, whenever counters are put on it, you can return a permanent from your graveyard to your hand. So it's kind of like Eternal Witness. But it's only 1 green to start, and you have to adapt it. But, I mean, if you do adapt it, I mean, 5 mana for a 4/3, get a card back from graveyard, it's fine. You can do it on turn 4, so, I mean, seems pretty strong. Thraben Charm, that's interesting. White and 1 common. Deals damage equal to twice the number of creatures you control. Destroy an enchantment or exile any number of target players' graveyards. Interesting. Not a lot to go over there. Next, we have some good stuff. We have Ocelet Pride. I don't remember if I covered this one or not. 1 white for a 1/1 first strike lifelink Ascend. That's if you control 10 or more permanents. Beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. If you have the city's blessing, for each token you control that enter the battlefield this turn, create a token that's a copy of it. Don't know how much play this will see in Modern. I mean, there is a chance because lots of permanents can be on the battlefield in Modern, but not often. But anyway, seems pretty cool, especially for Commander. Then we have the Umbras are back. We have a Dog Umbra. I won't even go there. Doggy style. Anyway, sorry. See myself out. White and 1 for a flash enchantment. As long as another player controls enchanted creature, it can't attack or block. Otherwise, Dog Umbra has Umber Armor, which basically means if it dies, you can sacrifice it to keep it from being destroyed. Doggy style. Anyway, tune the narrative. 1 blue, draw a card, get 2 energy. Yeah, because we haven't talked about how energy is going to be stupid soon. I mean, I guess it got banned in Standard. Let's get it banned in Modern while we're at it. Moving on. The next 3 here, we have the Thriving Skyclaw, 2 red and 2 for a 3/2. Enters the battlefield, get 3 energy. Whenever it attacks, you may pay 3 energy. If you do, put a counter on it. Buried Alive reprint. Woot woot. Black and 2, search your library for 3 creatures, put them in your graveyard. Kalia the Vast reprint. Been waiting for this, guys. White, red, black, 1/2/2 flying. Whenever it attacks, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that opponent. Great Commander card. People love it. About time we got a reprint of it. I'm not fond of reprints, but once or twice it is justified. We start getting up to like the 5/7 range. Start questioning choices. Anyway, next here we have Frogmire Enforcer. 7 colorless for a 4/4 affinity for artifacts, which is already sweet. It also has Prototype. You may cast this spell a different mana cast, color, or size. It keeps the same abilities and types. So for 1 red, you can get a 2/2 if you have 3 artifacts, or you can just play it as a 7 for 4/4, which is probably what's going to happen, since you're going to have shit tons of artifacts probably. Anyway, Aether Spike, blue and 1. Counter target spell, you get 2 energy. Then you may pay any amount of energy, counter that spell, unless its controller pays 1 colorless for each energy paid. I mean, energy seems to be a big thing along with the Eldrazi in this set, so, I mean, I guess we kind of expected this. Johnny Fails the Godspire, that's very interesting. 2 white and 3. Exile target creature an opponent controls, power 3 or greater. That's conditional at best. Create a 2/1 white creature warrior token. White cat warrior creature token. I'll get there. Then put a vigilance counter on a creature you control 3, target creature you control gains double strike to end of turn. I mean, for an uncommon, I guess it's okay, but I just don't see if I playing that for any reason. That's just awful. Moving on. Guess they all can't be good. We have Necro Bloom, black, green, white, and 1 for a 2/7 landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, create an 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens instead. Oh, okay. Yeah, so since they banned Field of the Dead, they figure they give us Field of the Dead with legs. Land cards in your graveyards have Dredge 2. Boy, that's got possibilities right there. Holy moly. Marionette Apprentice, black and 1 for a 1/2, fabricate 1, which means it either comes in as a 2/3 or you get a 1/1 colorless artifact. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. This is big. Why is this big? The Marionette was like 4 or more, 5. I think it was 5 mana or something like that. Good to use, hard to play because of the extensive mana cost of it. This, however, 2 mana, a thing. Here's why. The Marionette triggered off of its power every time an artifact left. This just gives you opponent loses 1 life, period. So you are not incentivized to make this a 2/3. You are incentivized to make this a 1/2 with a 1/1 artifact. This is going to be huge. This is going to be a good card. Anyway, Triton Wavebreaker, 1 blue for a 1/1. As long as the Wavebreaker is a creature, it has prowess. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has prowess, so it has bestow a blue and 1, so you can enchant something with it and give it prowess. I mean, it's a good uncommon, but I mean, it's no Swift Spear. I'll tell you that. It's just nope, no Swift Spear. All right, moving on. Next, we have Brain Surge, blue and 2 instant. Draw 4 cards. Put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Not good, but good enough for Commander. This, yeah, good Commander card. Other than that, limited maybe. I just cost too much. You can't remake Brainstorm and make it better because it's already busted. Like, you guys make it more busted? No. So, Sowing Mycospawn, green and 3 for a 3/3. The Void, it has Kicker. For a colorless and a waste mana. When you kick this spell, search your library for a land card, put it in a battlefield, then shuffle. When you cast this spell, if it was kicked, exile target land. So, for 4 mana, you get this card and a land. If you pay 2 extra, you get this card, a land, and you get your opponent's land. This seems amazing for Commander. Probably a bit expensive for other formats, but there could be a couple Eternal formats this might come in handy. We'll have to wait and see. Disruptor Flute, 2 colorless, flash. It enters the battlefield. You choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name cost 3 colorless more to cast. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're a mana ability. Okay, so this is a thing. This is going to be in every sideboard ever because it shuts down a lot of things and stalls a lot of people's decks. I mean, for example, let's say you're playing against Death Shadow. They don't cast it on the first turn, and you got to go first. You play Disruptor Flute, and you say Death Shadow. Now they have to wait to turn 4 to cast their Death Shadow, and by then, you probably got them locked down. Just going to say it. If they're playing with Planeswalkers, you name the Planeswalker, say they do cast it, they can't use the abilities on it now, even if they do cast it. So, this is going to be absurdly good for a rare. Moving on. Next, we have Deserted Temple. Nice reprint here. You know, tap a land, add a colorless. Spymaster's Vault. Rare. Enters the battlefield tap unless you control a swamp. Not terrible. Adds black for black and tap. Target creature you control convenes X, where X is the number of creatures that died this turn. Boy, that's something. I mean, if you want to mill through your deck, I guess this is the way to go. Guide of Souls, 1 white for a 1/2. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1 life and 1 energy. Oh yes, let's make Soul Sisters a better deck. And for those who don't want to play it Soul Sister style and they're playing energy, let's just give them a creature that just makes the thing happen. Whenever you attack, you can pay 3 energy. When you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a flying counter on target attacking creature. Becomes an angel, addition to other types. Oh, so okay. So once you've casted 3 creatures, This thing just becomes, a 3/4 flyer, just, whenever. On the off chance the energy's just laying around, not doing anything for you. Good boy. Moving on. All right, check it out. We have 6. And if you guys are wondering, Ren and 6, this is 6, the tree folk before they became 1. So green and 2 for a 2/4 reach. Whenever 6 attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them on your battlefield. As long as it's your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have reach race. This is really good. Yeah. 2/4, hard to kill. 3 mana cost to cast. It makes it harder to kill. Good card. I don't know what it's going to be used in. There's lots of different mill variations, but the fact that you can cause retrace makes this card dangerous. Especially played with Ren and 6, unless you put lands back in your hand, so you can then retrace stuff out of your graveyard. Anyway, we have Imskar, Iron Eater, red, black, and 6 colorless. That's not much. He's a 5/5, but he's got affinity for artifacts. So this bad boy could get cheap quick. When he enters the battlefield, draw X cards and lose X life, where X is half the number of artifacts you control rounded down. So if you get the full discount, that's going to be 3. Red and 3, sacrifice an artifact. Deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value to any target. That's a thing too. I don't know if it's good enough to be part of an animator strategy. There's probably better things to reanimate, but we'll wait and see. No idea what this thing is called, but it's a black and 1. Skeleton Noble, at the beginning of combat in your turn, exile, I'm going to guess, up to 1 target card from your graveyard. Something about adapt too. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put... Oh, this guy's Emperor Bones. Okay. Put a creature exiled with Emperor Bones onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. It gains haste, sacrifice at the end of the next end step. This is disgusting. So, this is inside an animator deck. This is an animator spell that just keeps animating. Adapt means you only get to do it once, but we don't know how big it is. This thing could easily be a powerhouse in itself that could punch people in the face. Very powerful card. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more. Sorry, I'll stop. Emissary of Soulfire. Blue, white, and 1 for a 1/4. Enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. Pay 2 energy, put an exalted counter on target creature control. Activate only as a sorcery. Creatures that exalted, if something attacks alone and you have, for every exalted thing you have, you get +1/+1. This is mediocre at best, probably a limited card. We have Kinth. Anyway, Famed Merchant. Looks like a white, red, blue, and 1. It is a Dwarf Artificer. 3/3. This might be I think this is a commander card. Fabricate 1. Other non-token creatures you control have Fabricate 1. That's pretty cool. 2 and tap, choose 1. Populate or Proliferate. That's also disgusting. This is going to be a thing that a lot of people are going to want, especially in commander. Outside of that, probably not. Token strategies normally don't go this kind of long game route in older formats, but this is a sweet card. We get a Victimize reprint because, it's just on point, right? They've victimized us enough over the years. Might as well victimize us in this set with the price. Next, we have Wrath of the Skies. I'm going to guess it's 2 white and X. You get X energy. Then you may pay the amount of energy, destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with a mana value less than or equal to the energy paid. This is going to be good. Nothing like a board wipe that you can pick how you wipe. Anyway, moving on. I'll leave that there. Amphibian Downpour, blue and 2. Or enchantment, flash, storm. Oh boy, storm cards. Enchant creature. Enchant creature loses all abilities. It's a blue frog with base power and toughness 1/1. Well, that was less impressive when I read it than after I saw Storm than I thought it was going to be. I'm just going to be honest with you. Anyway, moving on, we have Roshin, Roaring Prophet. Looks like my wife having a fit when she's mad. Anyway, green, red, and 2 for a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, mill 6 cards. You may put a card with X in its mana cost from among them into your hand. Tap, reveal any number of cards with X in their mana cost in your hand. Add 2 colorless for each card revealed this way. Spend that mana only to cast cards containing X in their mana cost. Jesus Christ, we put some more text on this card. Seems good. Probably a limited all-star. Definitely a good commander card. But a very narrow play field here. I think it's going to be a bulk bin card, but hey, whatever. Next we have, Junk Diver gets a reprint. Okay. Nesting Grounds. Fine. We've seen this before. It was printed in one of the, which one was it? One of the Universes Beyond sets. Adds for colorless, move a counter from target permanent you control to another one as a sorcery. Perilous Landscape, add a mana, sacrifice it. You can get a basic island, mountain, or plains card, put on the battlefield, tap, and shuffle. It cycles for blue, red. It cycles for America. Still a great card. I think it's a reprint, to be honest with you. Anyway. Next we have Cursed Mirror. I believe this is also a reprint. Red 2, adds red. Yep. Enters the battlefield, have it become a copy of a creature on the battlefield to the end of turn, except it has haste. Yeah, I think that's a reprint from, I want to say, not Innistrad, like Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow era, somewhere in there. White Orchid Phantom. This ought to be good. White Orchid was awesome. So 2 white, just like White Orchid. 2/2, like White Orchid. Flying and first strike. Not like White Orchid. It has flying and first strike. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-basic land. Its controller may search its library for a basic land card. Put that in the battlefield tap. Wow, this is good for white. This is going to be amazing for like a Hate Bear deck or a White Weenie style deck, or just as sideboard action for those kind of White Weenie style decks. Like, it could be good in the Spirit deck in Modern. Like, this has got potential. This is good. Anyway, Estrid's Invocation, a blue and 2. Enchantment, you may have the invocation enter the battlefield as a copy of an enchantment you control, except it has at the beginning of your upkeep. You may exile this enchantment. If you do, return it to the battlefield under your control. Ooh, so you have a blinking enchantment that can become other enchantments. This is sweet. Here's why. I went to Commander first, so take that for what you will. There's a black, white, and 1 enchantment. One of my favorite enchantments ever. I forget what it's called. But when it comes in, it does 3 damage to a target, and you gain 3 life. This thing can come in and out, I believe, and keep becoming that enchantment, and you keep gaining 3 life and keep shooting shit. That would be so sweet. Yeah. I'm sure there's other stuff to do with it. That's just one of my favorite enchantments I like, and just the ability to basically have it every turn just seems ridiculous. Next, we have some stuff. We have Power Balance. 2 red. Enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal a top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if 2 spells have the same mana value. This is a red counterbalance and goes in the counterbalance deck. Because think about it. Oof, okay. The shenanigans you could do with this. Casting red spells, creatures, possibilities are endless. And with Divining Top, it's going to make some crazy interactions. Cannot wait. And for you Commander guys out there, yeah, fun times. Ashling Flame Dancer, 2 red and 2, 4/4. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy a instant sorcery spell, discard a card, then draw a card. If this is the second time this is resolved this turn, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. If it's the third time, you get 4 red. Pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Detective's Phoenix, red and 2 for a 2/2. Flying haste. It has bestow of 1 and collect evidence 6. So you can cast this for 1, but you also have to remove 6 mana value of cards in your graveyard. So this is not a 1 mana, give my thing +2/+2 and haste. Not happening that way. So take that out of your mind right now. You may cast this Phoenix from your graveyard using the bestow ability. So that's kind of cool that you can make it a creature, hit him in the face with it till they kill it, and then just bestow it out of the graveyard, which then if the creature dies, this becomes a creature again, so forth and so forth and so on. So, kind of cool, not going to lie, I like it. All right, let's go back to Power Balance. I can't get past it. in Commander with 4 people. Every time someone casts a spell, you can cast a spell. So if someone casts a 1-mana spell, just hear me out, and you flip over a mana dork like an elf, you get to cast it for free. You lay this on turn 2, you're making tons of enemies. But as they cast things to solve the problem that you have this, you're going to get so much stuff. Oh, God. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Sorry, moving on. I'm already taking a lot of your time. Next we have War and Soul Trader, I believe. Black and 2. Zombie, Goblin, Wizard. 3 probably. Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, create a treasure token. Not the best, but definitely that's definitely a goblin thing. It's fine. That's a goblin thing. We have some kind of apparition, 2 colorless, a white. I'm going to say a black. Has the void. It could be 2 white. Exile target non-land permanent. You may blank that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend any colored mana. Maybe blue. That's kind of a blue thing. Yeah, it's definitely a blue thing. I mean, this is probably white-blue. Pretty good. I don't know how big it is. Well, it's an instant, so it's an instant. That makes it even better because it's an instant. Because they can't mess with it once you exile something. So yeah, this is pretty good. It is 4 mana though. However, Commander is going to love it. Ripples of Undeath, black and 1 enchantment. Beginning of your pre-combat main phase, mill 3 cards. Then you may pay 1 colorless and 1 life. If you do, put a card from among those cards into your hand. Doesn't seem good, but I'm going to tell you it is. Because in decks that want to dredge and whatever, laying this on turn 2 guarantees you milling 3 cards every turn, making sure you have dredge cards, making sure you can fill your graveyard, and making sure that you can do your shenanigans. Yes, this is a thing. We are here, and we're going to be doing things. So, with that said, guys, that was all I could find. Stay tuned for more interesting stuff coming up. I will also still be covering the season when they actually reveal cards. I'll probably skip or at least only preview the cards I've already showed you that I can remember and burn past them for the ones that don't get to become free before that time. But anyway, until then, till next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table.